Dear friends in Jesus Christ, Pope Francis, while visiting the United States border with Mexico, he stated, "A person who thinks only about building walls, wherever they may be, and not building bridges, is not a Christian." In September 2019, on the Church's 105th World Day of Migrants and Refugees, a new statue was installed in St. Peter's Square for the first time in 400 years. The 20-foot tall bronze sculpture depicting a group of 140 life-size migrants and refugees from various cultural backgrounds and time periods traveling together on a same boat. It has been described as a testament to Pope Francis's enduring concern for the plight of refugees and migrants. Dear brothers and sisters, since 1914, Church has been celebrating the World Day of Migrants and Refugees on the last Sunday of September. Last year, it was celebrated on 27th September 2020. Pope Francis, for the World Day of Migrants and Refugees in the year 2020, had chosen the theme, "Like Jesus Christ, forced to flee," Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. It speaks about the flight of Joseph, Mary, and Jesus into Egypt in order to protect baby Jesus. But in the case of migrants, they are forced to migrate mostly because of economic reasons. Although Pope Francis's message for World Day of Migrants and Refugees in 2020 was meant for internally displaced persons who are experiencing situations of precariousness, abandonment, marginalization, and rejection as a result of COVID-19. The four key words that the Pope used are very relevant for our today's topic from the Archbishop Philip Neri Ferraun's pastoral letter, "Stay with us," for the pastoral year 2021-2022, wherein he invites the people from the Archdiocese of Goa and Daman to show abounding love and care towards those migrants who are away from their homeland. First word Pope Francis uses is welcoming approach. Migration cannot exist without the attitude and spirit of welcome from the part of the receiving group towards the migrating group. One migrates from his homeland to another foreign land only when there is peace, prosperity, and dignity of life. Jesus too embraced one and all, not only members of his own Jewish community. The word Catholic itself means all embracing. The follower and disciple of Christ must follow welcoming Christians' approach towards everyone. Second word which Pope Francis uses is protecting approach. There is always a fear of insecurity when one migrates to a new place. We must remember that these people are not like commodities to be utilized, but persons to be treated with respect and with dignity. The welcoming individual or people needs to protect their rights by providing them proper salaries, benefits, accommodation, medical care, etc., but at the same time following proper state rules and regulations. The use and dump mentality of generalizing them as criminals because of few cannot justify our inhuman treatment towards them. As Christians, we have to be good Samaritans towards the migrants, especially those that are exploited by unscrupulous vultures of egocentrism and self-obsessed. The third word which Pope Francis uses is promoting approach. Migration normally takes place in search of greener pastures, mainly because of economic reasons. The Pope says that we need to be involved in order to promote, so that we find the courage to create spaces where everyone can recognize that they are called, and to allow new forms of hospitality, fraternity, and solidarity. The self is essentially dependent on the other. The differences based on color, caste, race, religion, economics, region, etc. are just human creations. These differences even today are being promoted in the name of politics, development, religion, etc. We need to promote their efforts to educate their children, because back in their remote villages, they do not have proper educational facilities. The church in India and Goa has manifested great charity during the migrant exodus of the lockdown and also during second wave. Instead of concentrating on differences, we have to concentrate on their abilities, talents, skills, virtues, and values that these migrants possess. The migrants today might not have academic degrees to demonstrate, but they are qualified in their own skills and hence need encouragement and promotion. The last word is following integrating approach. This aspect seems to be the most difficult because we consider migrants as beggars coming to our developed land, and therefore what they can bring for us is except labor. In Goa, some of us are used to pejoratively nickname the migrants as Ghatis, outsiders, or Baile. The whole story of salvation of the Old Testament is the story of migration, wherein the people of Israel migrated from one place to another before reaching the promised land. Pope Francis, in his encyclical letter Fratelli Tutti on fraternity and social friendship, expresses the essence of a fraternal openness that allows us to acknowledge, appreciate, and to love each person regardless of physical proximity, regardless of where he or she was born or lives. The disciples from the Emmaus episode encountered Jesus as an unknown wayfarer, but they welcomed, listened, and accompanied him with love. The Archbishop Philip Neri Ferrautu, in his pastoral letter, Stay With Us, quotes Leviticus chapter 19 verses 33 to 34, wherein it is mentioned, when an alien resides with you in your land, you shall not oppress them. The alien who resides with you shall be to you as the citizen among you. You shall love the alien as yourself. Dear friends in Jesus Christ, there is an urgent need for all of us to show greater love and affection towards the migrants. Quite a few of them do not have the basic necessities of life, basic education for their children, adequate food, etc. Oftentimes, children and women are forced to live and work in harsh and inhuman conditions. Therefore, under the leadership and guidance of parish priests, parish pastoral council members, every parish, by using the necessary means, should offer them the love which will rekindle their hope to feel at home. Firstly, in our parish, it is our primary duty to cater to their spiritual needs through regular celebration of the sacraments, and especially by celebrating Holy Eucharist for them. Another challenge is to make them collaborators in the life and ministry of the church in Goa by involving them in parish units and associations wherever possible. Dear friends in Jesus Christ, now I would like to share my one-year personal encounter with migrants in St. Anne O'Loughlin Church during pandemic. Last year in a parish where I was working had some migrant laborers, and during the pandemic I got opportunity along with the help of RMI sisters, that is Religious Sisters of Mary Immaculate, to do at least something for the migrant laborers from my parish by integrating and involving them during my short 1-year pastoral ministry in St. Anne Church in O'Loughlin. Firstly, I had to go out of my comfort zone in order to celebrate Hindi Mass for migrants staying in my parish with the help of RMI sisters, but it was possible only after learning and practicing few words in Hindi. Secondly, during pandemic, my parish youth along with few migrant children, including youngsters of other faith, helped me in preparing crib and big star for the church during Christmas. Thirdly, after preparing children to receive First Holy Communion with the help of catechists, RMI sisters, and with the help of their parents, 5 migrant children along with another 6 children received the First Holy Communion in St. Anne Church. Because of the initiative of the Director of Diocesan Youth Center, Father Savio de Souza, on the occasion of Diocesan Youth Day, with the collaboration of Dinari Youth Animator, Father Michael Fernandez, St. Anne O'Loughlin Parish Youth, like other parish youths from Goa, sacrificed their pocket money and brought few grocery items. Later on particular day, our St. Anne Parish Youth personally visited the migrant families and distributed grocery to them. I also remember one migrant worker who had shared with me at least twice about one of her former parish priests who regularly used to visit migrants from her place. This is what migrants still remember about their former parish priest, even after he being transferred to another parish. We cannot forget Caritas Goa too did wonderful ministry towards migrants and the needy, not only during pandemic but throughout. Even during the second wave, they were very much active to their Childline Cell Group and other COVID care teams. Caritas Goa, still with the help of Child Helpline Cell, still are doing wonderful ministry by giving counseling to children from age group consisting of 1 to 17 years old, mostly where they get ample opportunity to help migrant children through counseling. In Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 18, Moses gave command to the people of Israel that it is God who loves the stranger and gives them food and clothing. Love the stranger then, for you too were strangers in the land of Egypt. Dear brothers and sisters, as Christians, let us remember that we are born as migrants in this world because we come from God and will go back to God, for our permanent home is in heaven. Dear friends, in Jesus Christ, the church is a mother who embraces everyone, excludes no one, and fosters loving relationships by transcending all differences. Let us work wholeheartedly to make the church in Goa and Daman a communion of communities by embracing and accompanying every person, including the unknown wayfarers. Thank you, and God bless us all.